Hi and welcome everyone to our virtual Member Forum update for 2022. Once again, COVID-19 has impacted our ability to have in-person meetings, so we're sharing some organisational updates for you. But first of all, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners that I'm dialing in from. I'm on Wurundjeri country of the Kulin Nation, and I pay my respects to their elders past and present. I'd like to introduce you to the senior leadership team. We have Philippa Davis as Director Accreditation Policy and Research, Veronica Vella, Director Assessments and Examinations, Cindy Welsh, our new Director People and Culture, and we're joined by Faith Anderson, who is our Acting Director Corporate Services, while Diane Moore is on leave. Let's start with you, Pip. Can you give us an overview of the achievements in the accreditation area for the last 12 months?
Yeah, thank you, Narelle. One of our major highlights for the last 12 months was the review of the professional competencies of the newly qualified dental practitioner. And the ADC uses the competencies across its accreditation functions to ensure that dental practitioner education programs in Australia produce graduates who have the required skills, attributes, and knowledge to be safe and competent. And we also blueprint our assessment for overseas practitioners to the competencies. And this review ensures that the competencies remain contemporary benchmarks of what is expected of a newly qualified dental practitioner here in Australia. A significant change is the consolidation of the competencies for dentists, oral health therapists, dental hygienists, dental therapists and prosthetists into one document, so you can easily see where the competencies align and where they differ across the different dental practitioner divisions. And this supports collaborative team practice by facilitating a better understanding of the competencies across the different dental practitioner divisions as well. Another one of our major focus was on the provision of culturally safe care for our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. And we've included the agreed definition by the National Registration and Accreditation Scheme of cultural safety in the revised competencies document. And we've introduced new statements to ensure that the definition of cultural safety is put into action. And these statements outline what a practitioner must do to ensure culturally safe care for our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here in Australia.
Thanks, Pip. And as I alluded to before, COVID-19 has continued to impact us as a workplace, but also education providers. How has accreditation responded to these challenges?
That's right, Narelle. It's certainly been a challenging year, and we have been able to reaccredit 12 programs throughout the year, and we conducted 7 site visits. 5 we conducted virtually due to COVID-19 lockdowns. But our assessors and our education providers have been extremely flexible and really adapted to new ways of working throughout the pandemic, which has been great. The COVID-19 monitoring protocol, which outlined how the ADC and our education providers work together to ensure that accreditation standards continue to be met, was in place throughout the pandemic. This was introduced in March of 2020, and we continued to assess our programs against the revised protocol throughout 2021. And one of the benefits to the protocol was the way in which it really strengthened the relationship between us and our providers, and it's something that we really hope we can take forward into the new ways of working, and that increased communication and collaboration between us as well.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks, Pip. What's on the forward work plan for accreditation?
So we're planning a workshop for early next year for our assessors, examiners and item writers. And this will be the first time that those 3 groups have come together for a joint workshop. So we're really looking forward to that. We're in the middle of planning some exciting sessions and workshops for that conference, which will include cultural safety training and information on the revised professional competencies.
Great. Thanks, Pip. Veronica, let's turn to you. Much like accreditation, COVID-19 lockdowns have continued to impact assessments and examinations. The team has been working tirelessly throughout the period to continue our assessments and examinations functions. What's the current status of the activities across your area?
Thanks, Narelle. It's actually pleasing to say that despite disruptions, our past year has been pretty much a year without interruption, and that has happened because of the hard work that the team has put in, and also the support of our examiners to continue to run examinations. So while we start the year still with a backlog and still trying to catch up after a very disrupted 2020 and start of 2021, the rest of the year has been pretty much seamless. We have caught up on all of our work, and we've done that with extremely high volume. So if we look at the number of candidates that have come to see us at the examination centre, the number of candidates that have set the written worldwide, and the number of candidates that put in initial applications, the volume has increased to the point where initial applications have pretty much doubled just in the first 6 months of the year. Our turnaround times, however, are within the standard processing time, so we're really pleased to help candidates as quickly as we can to get through the process. And again, taking into consideration the fact that COVID is not over yet, we have decided to continue to provide full refunds to candidates who are impacted by COVID and are unable to attend their examination. And we will continually review this, but at the moment, we think it's really important.
Thanks, Veronica. And focusing on strategic initiatives, what are some of the activities occurring?
The past year has been for us a major focus on improved engagement and communication with our candidates. We recognise that we've got an important role, and under the national law, it's really important that we maintain public safety and that we ensure the candidates that come through the ADC assessment process are safe to practice once they complete and they gain registration from APRA. This, however, doesn't negate our ability to support them and our willingness to do so, as they are ADC candidates, and work with us towards that end goal. So what we've done in the past year has been a few things, a few activities. We have launched a quarterly newsletter, and we have asked candidates to name it. So it's now called the Candidate Lounge, because that was the name that they chose for it, and so that's the name we gave it. We also decided to introduce a number of short surveys, and we conduct those after each stage in the process. What we do with those, we obviously look at the feedback carefully, see how we're going, see whether we meet candidates' expectations, but also see where there are some enhancements that we can make to the process to make the whole experience better and the process easier for them. And we decided that, if we're asking candidates to provide their opinion, then we want them to know what we do with it. And we are reporting back through each candidate newsletter to let them know what we've heard and what we've been able to address. Thank you that they support and they feedback. Another activity, another initiative that we are just starting, and so it's going into the next year, will be to set up a candidate reference group. So we're looking for a small number of candidates that represent the whole candidature to meet with us on a regular basis, a couple of times a year, and give us their insights on what the process is, how it feels for them to go through it, and how we can make it better and more streamlined.
Great, thanks, Veronica. Cindy, I'd like to welcome you to the senior leadership team as our Director of People and Culture, and must be a great position for you to be in to look back over the last 12 months. Can you give us some of your observations of the highlights and achievements for people and culture?
Sure, thanks, Narelle. Look, I'm very excited to have joined the ADC. The significant work that has been completed in the last financial year is really admirable, and I'm looking forward to supporting future initiatives. I'd like to highlight one such important piece of work, and that's the Reflect Reconciliation Action Plan that was launched May 2022. This was a significant milestone for the organisation, signifying the first formal step in the ADC's reconciliation journey, and providing leadership and shaping pathways for dental practitioners to provide culturally safe healthcare to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. There was an event to celebrate this initiative earlier in the year with a welcome to country and dance by the Jitty Jitty dancers. There was also an unveiling of the commitment to reconciliation artwork by the artist Lani Belzan, a proud Aboriginal woman from the Wiradjuri people of the Three River Tribe. The event was also catered by an Indigenous catering company. A RAP working group was established, and Dr. Gary Watson and Ms. Kirralie Phillips were appointed as Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander representatives to provide input and advice on the implementation of the RAP. Gary is a proud Gurun, Gungaloo and Biriguba man and dentist, and Kirralie is an Indigenous woman and oral health therapist.
Yeah, great. I was so proud of the organisation for really starting our reconciliation journey through our Reflect RAP. And we've also seen the ADC team join our examinations colleagues in returning back to the office. Can you give us an update around the important support and wellbeing initiatives around our ADC team?
Sure. Look, given we're Melbourne-based, much of the team returned to remote working during 2021 and then again during winter 2022. So we're emerging from this period, given that there's changes to government mandates. And we've considered how best to incorporate a hybrid working model at ADC. It was really important that employee wellbeing and retention was prioritised, but we also needed a model that supported organisational culture and growth. Hence, the organisation has progressed a working model whereby in September, ADC employees return to the office for 2 days per week. This hybrid model gives employees the flexibility to work more days in the office if they wish, to encourage collaboration and maintain connection with their peers. This also ensures that the face-to-face interactions contribute to building a sustainable, high-performing organisation.
Great, thanks so much, Cindy. And Faith, I'd like to thank you for joining us as Acting Director Corporate Services whilst Diane Moore is on leave, and I'd like to invite you to provide an update on activities for corporate services over the last 12 months.
It's great to be here. Thank you, Narelle. A key achievement for corporate services was the launch of ADC Connect in December 2021. This major IT project has enabled the business to move from paper-based manual systems to online paperless processes. Through the implementation of ADC Connect, we have been able to streamline the application experience for our candidates. As well as our candidates, ADC Connect is a resource for many of our other stakeholders, including assessors, examiners, item writers, committee members, and board directors.
Thanks, Faith. We've certainly seen some of the processes streamlined for stakeholders already and look forward to ongoing systems improvements. Financially, what was our position at 30 June 2022?
Well, on a positive note, the 12 months to 30 June 2022 financially was stronger than expected. Whilst ADC did record a deficit, this was materially lower than our initial projections. This outcome was achieved by continuing to deliver examinations and flexing to virtual site visits. In a year impacted by lockdowns, we were able to generate revenue close to 90% of pre-pandemic levels. Our history of sound financial management means ADC has a strong balance sheet. This allowed the business to support our staff through the pandemic and fund the launch of ADC Connect and other important projects.
Thanks, Faith. So I'd like to just say thank you to you all as the senior leadership team and your contributions to the successes of the organisation. We have farewelled a couple of team members from the senior leadership team, Tara Waller as Director, People and Culture, and Mark Ford in the Director, Accreditation Policy and Research role, and I really sincerely thank them for their contribution to the successes in the last 12 months as well. So I hope this information was really helpful for people watching this video and giving you an update on the successes of the organisation over the 12 months. And we're looking forward to a productive following year. Thank you.